Hi there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. I was a dentist for 25 years and now doing the dental practice brokerage for 14. And today's topic is, we politely disagree with the dental attorney concept of a pre-letter of intent. So we'll get into this situation, what happened. We got a beautiful day in here in New Jersey, by the way, so excuse me, we got super bright sun out, no clouds. Great full day. So before we get into that, as you know, we're in about 24 states, and next, I think in 2 weeks or a week and a half, we're leaving or in about a week, we're leaving for Tennessee and Carolina. We're really excited. We've got a major trip planned there. It's going to be fantastic. So we're going to be leaving for that real soon, and we'll have even more states available. It'll be up to 25. So anyway, we're now available to you basically 6 days a week, and 7 days a week, 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. So we're always around. Feel welcome to give us a chat sometime. Our website is dentalpracticeguide.com, or you can also reach us at nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com, 201-663-0935. Okay? Now, and all the information you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. Now, if some of you are thinking out, you have a large practice, over $1 million, and 5 operatories or more, willing to stay on a little bit, you may be a DSO candidate. We work with them closely. We're not engaged as far as employment with them. We're independent totally of them. But we do recommend them, and we'll work closely with them. Virtually all the DSOs we work with, I think we have a list of 140, they will pay our commission. So there's no commission, generally no commission to you as a seller. And if you do work with us and your practice sells for over $1 million, we will reimburse based on certain criteria. We'll reimburse your attorney fees at successful closing. Hopefully you'll choose one of the well-known dental attorneys. But we'll reimburse those fees. We've done that many times. We did that 10 days ago. Worked out quite well. All the attorney fees for the seller were reimbursed. Had a great dental attorney. Worked out fantastic. Everybody was happy. Now, secondly, let's get into this. A dental attorney, and a great dental attorney, really good guy, gal, whatever, had an idea, more driven by the buyer. The buyer wanted to get a pulse of what the seller had an asking price for the dental practice. Buyer wanted to get a pulse of that price, what would be accepted on it, as far as the price, terms, and so forth. Because some real estate involved, dental office, it's like over $1 million deal. So the buyer says, well, we'd like to get the feel. Could you ask the seller, would he accept such and such money? And I said, look, we don't do verbal we don't offers by verbal. It has to be a written offer on paper in a what we call a letter of intent, which is non-binding. That shows at least you're serious. You put something down on paper. We're not going to verbally ask the seller, well, what do you think about this price? No, I gave it previous, I think I did a previous one on this YouTube video. But this is different because now the attorney's involved. So the attorney's talking to me and says, well, we don't want to spend a lot of money, because the attorney was then going to draw up the letter of intent, which is a good idea because it's so it's like a pre-contract, the way if it's a good dental attorney, puts a lot of information in there that kind of makes it easier to go into contract. But you can also have a simple letter of intent too, and we'll supply that with you. But if you want to use an attorney, that's a great idea also. So the attorney says, well, we want to get a feel for what the seller will accept before we spend all this money on creating a letter of intent. I said, look, I can't do anything respectfully, and this is a very good dental attorney. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I'm not going to call my seller and say, "Oh, we have an idea about what we want to buy, and these are the terms." No. First of all, you can forget because it's a verbal thing, and they got everything going on. You put it on paper. So the attorney says, "Well, why don't I give you a email outlining my thoughts?" And this is where I didn't agree to it. My opinion was, I don't agree. I said, it's the same thing. I said, you're just giving maybe it's not verbal and you are giving a summary on an email, but by saying the buyer doesn't want to spend the money and waste his time and the doctor's time, my response to that is like, hey, you want to buy a house in the mountain region, for example, or a home where there's all septic tanks and they have wells and septic tanks. Well, you got to spend some money testing the soil out. Up in the mountains, it'll be called a perk test. You got to spend some money, just like you would spend money on a home inspection before you buy the home. And you may not buy the home, but you do an inspection on it, or a boat inspection, or whatever, some type of inspection you're doing. You've got to spend a few dollars. So say to me, you don't want to spend $1,000 or $1,500 writing an attorney-written letter of intent. I say, well, you're looking at over $1 million deal here. We're talking about $1,000. I think you got to come across solid. You got to come across solid to the seller that you hired an attorney, the attorney created the letter of intent, and you come in, you are motivated. Instead of saying, well, we think we're going to offer this, we'll just kind of feel it out and test the waters. No. It's hit the ground running, let them know what you're all about. The attorney says, let me just write a summary email. And I said, okay, look, do whatever you want to do. I think it should be a formal letter of intent, which is non-binding. So I was not of the same opinion as that attorney who wanted to do this email summary pre-letter of intent. I said, what are we doing here? But, I agreed, only that's how they wanted to proceed. And, and it did turn out that the seller said, well, wait a minute now, what is this? Why don't I have an official letter of intent? So the seller says, I will acknowledge that you've given an offer that appears to be within the ballpark. That was the seller's response. I'll acknowledge that you've given me a letter from an attorney, an email, that appears to be within the ballpark. It's in target range of what I'm asking for. And we appreciate it. But this letter doesn't mean anything to me. I want a letter of intent. Again, it's non-binding. So I think the attorney, I didn't agree with that, but I went along with it, and it's his client, and I wanted to keep everybody happy, and very good dental attorney. I just don't agree with a pre-letter of intent or testing the waters concept. I think it's a waste of time. You want to be serious. You want to hit the ground running. Hold on, I'm at an intersection. You should never talk when you're at an intersection. Just a tip from Dr. Gary. Anyway, so that was my thinking. Don't pre-test anything. No pre-letter of intent. Come in, you're serious, hit the ground running. I hired the attorney. He gave me the letter of intent. The attorney, now the seller knows, this buyer spent some money on an attorney. The attorney wrote the letter of intent and just slam it out. And that's what you got to do. So it's working out okay this way, but in the future, I really don't advise it. It's like, get the letter of intent, have the attorney write it, or we'll give you a blank letter. It is nice to have the dental attorney write it. I think they put a lot of information in there. It's going to be in the contract, so not a bad idea. But get the attorney to write it. So hit the ground running, come in serious, and hit it hard. Let that seller know you are serious about this. You are ready to move forward. And I think it should work out great for you. All right, we got a beautiful fall day here in the Northeast. You guys should be out there making something happen today. Work hard, but have some fun out there too. Do that today. Have some fun. Enjoy yourself, but focus on your future. And you could have some fun while listening to YouTube videos at the same time. Exercise, listen to them. You'll learn. There's so much information. There's so much on YouTube. There's so much on podcasts that you dentists out there should be listening to, sellers, buyers, whatever. I mean, just get out there, get the information in your head. I listen to almost 10 hours a week of YouTube videos and podcasts. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I've been doing this for how many years? I guess since dental school. It was a long time ago. Anyway, just get on it. Great talking to you. Get ready for the next video and make it happen. Bye.